What's going on, guys? Ben from JK Gear and Gadgets, and welcome back to another video. As you can tell, we just installed a new cargo basket into the rear of the JK.
I actually talked him into this one because between him, the kids, the dogs, and myself, there's not enough storage room back here. So we thought this would be a good solution.
So in this video, we're gonna check out the cargo basket, of course, do an install video, and talk about some of the reasons I chose this one and why it's a good fit for anybody, whether you have a family, dogs, or if you're just a daily driver and you want to find more room and have a chick hang out on top of it.
Holds a lot of weight too.
You're not that heavy. I think it can hold like 200 something pounds. You're not 200 pounds.
Like
You're good. I probably can't get up there. Let's go ahead and check this thing out and dive into the install video. So as you can tell, I kind of just mocked everything up there to kind of give you guys an idea of how much room this Vector Offroad cargo basket holds. I went with this one's $500. It is a little bit expensive. They do have a cheaper model. However, it does not have this side rail that wraps all the way around. I really like this design because I don't have to worry about anything coming and hitting the passenger seat, whether my kids are in there or somebody else. It does have options for tie downs, all that good stuff. It is a very well designed rack. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can go check it out. But some cool things is that you still have room to open your cooler in here and grab a drink. Yes, I did put it in backwards, but as you can tell, there's plenty of room to put stuff up top and down below. Here it is without anything on it. As it sits now, I have 24 inches from the floor to the rack. It's also very, very adjustable. We have 3 different mounting spots to raise or lower this rack, and as you'll tell later on in the install video, we can raise our roll bar clamp up or down to also change this adjustment. As you'll see, I actually went ahead and mounted my power tank on the bottom side, and it was a good place to get the power tank out of the way, and honestly, one of the few mounting options I could use with this rack, especially with it being a 15-pound, which is a pretty big power tank. I will have to make a few changes because I was talking to Power Tank and they don't recommend having it vertically mounted just with this one strap, but we'll do an update video later on. But as you can tell, this is a very, very nice cargo basket. Once again, it is made by Vector Offroad. They also have another model, like I mentioned before, that it's a little bare bones, a little bit cheaper. And honestly, between the two, it's really just what's gonna fit your needs. I really like the fact that it had this barrier all the way around so we can still tie stuff down and not worry about it falling to the passenger seat. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, Ben, what happened to the diabolical slipstring you've been running? Slipstream. It was a very good system. However, for me, it wasn't really practical. I have 2 dogs, and with this system, I can still put them under here. They'll have plenty of room to lay down and whatnot, and then have an extra layer on top for our bags and gear and whatnot. Max, you ready? Go. Good boy. Got enough room in there? Whereas the slipstream mounted flush here, and there was no way my dogs were gonna hang out in an enclosed low space like that. So with this, I can still have the dogs and still have storage room on top. Now you're probably wondering, does this fit under the soft top or hard top? It will fit under the hard top, no issues. Sadly for you soft top guys, this will not work. You might be able to make this work with some of the frameless tops, but of course, if it's like a fast pack, as you can tell, it's not gonna work. So if you have any questions in regards to fitment, I would reach out to Vector Offroad and ask them because they are the pros. But there's really not much to it, guys. It's a way to maximize your storage because now we have almost 2 layers of shelving. It looks cool, and honestly, it's a really well-built product. Let's go ahead and dive on into the install video. Before we get started with the install, let's take a look at what comes in the kit and what we're gonna need to install it. So as you can tell, we have the platform here. It is a nice little textured powder coat. The rails and all the mounting equipment is also powder coated. Has a really nice, cool texture. It comes with all the hardware we're gonna need, our roll bar clamps, the little mounting brackets, and the platform itself. What we're gonna need to install this is gonna be very simple. 7/16 wrench, socket, ratchet, an Allen wrench, and a 10mm. The first thing we're gonna do is grab our brackets and attach them to our roll bar clamps. Now you wanna have this mounted so you have your roll bar clamp going to the roll bar, and this being nice and level with the Jeep. So we're gonna grab 4 of our bolts right here and thread it right on into our roll bar clamp. We're gonna grab our 10mm socket and start these bolts. We're gonna leave these a little bit loose until everything is mounted up on the Jeep and we can make any adjustments. It's time to figure out where to mount the roll bar clamp. In my case, I already have the factory padding removed. If you still have yours on, all you have to do is unzip it to get access to the actual roll bar itself. What we're gonna do is come up here to the seatbelt welded bung, measure 4.5 inches down, and make a little mark right there. We're gonna hop up here in the back of the Jeep and attach our roll bar clamp and bracket. Now we're gonna grab the 4 Allen head bolts and start attaching our roll bar bracket. Go ahead and start a few of these bolts. Now we're gonna leave these a little bit loose so we can still move this around to line up with our rack, as well as move it up and down the roll bar, depending on how high we want this platform to sit. With the roll bar clamp and bracket attached, it should look just like this. So we're gonna duplicate the exact same steps over here on our passenger side. Now on the passenger side, there is a little wire retainer right where this would mount. So we're gonna move that out of the way for now. Go ahead and finish up mounting our bracket. It's time to mount the platform onto the brackets. This might be more than a two-hand job, we'll see. All right, so that's not too bad. If you roll it back far enough, it'll sit on the rear seats. What we're gonna try to do is get one of the bolts and wing nuts started. Here, let me show you something. It's actually pretty cool. So this basket, you can move it higher or lower based on where the roll bar clamp is, but they also have 3 mounting adjustments for these holes. So if you want it to sit low, you can use that top hole. If you want it to sit higher, use the bottom hole, as well as still making adjustments on the roll bar clamp. So it's pretty cool seeing that we can have a lot of adjustments. I think right off the bat, I might mount it right in the middle. I'd like it a little bit higher than this, but not too high to where it's unusable space up there. So I'm gonna mount it right in that middle hole. And it's pretty cool that they use wing nuts. If we ever need to make a quick adjustment, you don't need any tools or anything. You just tighten it up. And with those 2 done, we're gonna go around to the other sides and get the other 4 remaining bolts and wing nuts started, but once again, leaving them hand tight. At this point, once it's pretty much installed, it's time to actually start tightening everything down. Before we do that, we want to make sure it is exactly where we want it. To make sure that the angle is nice and straight sideways, and that would dictate how far these clamps are up or down. The higher up it is, the more it's going to move towards the headrest. So as you can tell, I went ahead and flipped up the headrest to make sure I had plenty of room here, which it does. First thing we're going to torque down is our roll bar clamps. Since it's a little hard to get back into these back ones, we're gonna go ahead and tighten those up first. So what I'm gonna do is loosen these top ones and go ahead and get in there and tighten up the bottom ones first. We don't have to actually get them that snug. With these, it'll suck the rest of the clamp all the way in. Now it's time to move over and tighten up our 10mm bolts. So what I'm gonna do is make sure the basket's nice and level, right about there, and go ahead and tighten these up. Don't be like me, I totally forgot that they included washers in this kit. Right there, yep. Very important to probably read the instructions on their website. I mean, it is a very, very straightforward job, but little stuff like that, good reminders. So the washers are gonna go right here behind these bolts. So 1, 2, 3, we have 6. How many washers do we have? We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got like 12 washers. So yeah, I'm assuming that the washers are for these bolts right here with the wing nuts. So that's easy enough. We're gonna go ahead and throw those washers on there, tighten that up, and call this project done. Now that everything's torqued down, good to go, I actually went ahead and added one little cool thing to it. I actually mounted my power tank right on the bottom side of our new cargo basket. A few reasons why I did this. The mounts that Power Tank sells easily bolts pretty much to anything. They offer a few other mounting solutions right here on the side standing up, a floor bracket. There's quite a few things, but with this rack, it does not sit tall enough to mount a 15-pound CO2 tank vertically. So my only options were to do a floor mount, which I really don't want to take up any cargo space. That's the whole point of having an extra rack, is to kind of maximize stuff we can bring with us on a trip. So I decided to either mount it on top or below on the rack. With this cargo basket, as you can tell, it stops right here. Whereas with the power tank, I can move it all the way back till it touches the seat. Now, if we had a 10-pound power tank or a 5-pound, it would mount up in that basket, no issues. Since the tank is so long, since it's a 15-pound, I had to mount it all the way back against the seat, otherwise I'd have issues with this hitting the window. So I actually still had to hammer this in a little bit. Power tank, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, they'd probably kill me for saying that, but this handle actually came out about right there, and it didn't give me much room between the glass, so I actually hammered this in and bent that bracket back just a little bit. But we are lined up and good to go, and it fits with the hardtop on. Time to pull the top back off. Well, that's it, guys. As you can tell, it's a very straightforward install. There's nothing hard about it. It is limited only to the hardtop, guys, so if you have a soft top, I am sorry. And the great thing about this system is that it's really easy to take off. If we ever have to remove this, we can either just take off the basket with the wing nuts, or we can easily take it off all the way by taking off our roll bar clamps on both sides. It does allow me to mount my power tank out of the way, and it does have a few other holes down here to mount rotopacks or other custom things. Overall, I definitely think it's a really cool product, hence why Cassie wanted me to get it, and I'm glad she did. Not only is this going to be useful for the trails, but also on long trips when we have the kids in the Jeep, the dogs in the back, and we still need room to put all our stuff. So 10 out of 10 on this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Like always, if you have any questions about this, throw it in the comments. If you have any concerns, throw it in the comments. And like always, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more videos. Got something really cool coming. Those old axles we took off the JK, well, they're going on something else. So stay tuned for that. Peace.